You should not buy this camera. This was sent to me for free to review. If you wanted to purchase it, it would cost you about $80. It's marketed as a YouTube vlogging camera. It has all of the cool features you might want, but none of them work, or very few of them work well enough to want to keep using it. And there's a lot of better options on the market at this price point. So first of all, it looks cool. Look at this giant lens, right? But that's just the macro lens. And it's a wide-angle macro lens that unscrews. And I've actually, there we go. So the regular lens is, you know, this guy. And it's not a horrible lens. It's the camera chip and lens are probably similar to a lot of the fixed focus cameras I've used in the past and have been okay. So video quality is all right. Outside is just fine. Indoors, I ran into some effects with LED lights and banding of the image sensor that I have not seen to that extent on other cameras in the same environment. And the focusing doesn't work super great. So the autofocus always is jumping in and out. It makes your videos annoying. The fixed focus and the manual focus, I tried both. I could not get either one of those to work correctly to get a good focused image. The audio sounded underwatery to me. Now it does include a nice little audio receiver transmitter pair. I ended up using these all the time, even if I was 2 or 3 feet away from the camera, just to make the audio sound a little better. It does include 2 user replaceable removable batteries with a battery charger. No complaints about the batteries. Those are nice. You know, I had plenty of runtime on each battery, and you get 2 batteries so you can swap them in and out. So that's great. This flip around thing is kind of nice. Only problem is if you put a quick release plate on the bottom and you can't reach the bottom to flip it out, it's really difficult to flip this thing out from the side here, especially when you're in front of the camera and you're trying to flip it out. And so my biggest complaint about this guy is that the overall image quality and audio quality is not good enough for the price point. Now it has a couple of neat features. I'm going to actually keep this and use it as my dedicated time-lapse camera because I really like the time-lapse mode. You can say, hey, take 1 picture every minute and it puts it into a video and you don't have to do any post-processing. You just get a time-lapse video out. And so as a digital camera, it did okay outside. You know, it's an okay digital camera, but I've also seen digital cameras that are 1/3 to 1/2 the price that do just as good without all the extra features. So I didn't even test the Wi-Fi app connectivity just because the image quality, focusing, you know, the lighting weirdness with LED lights and the banding, I didn't feel the need to keep testing it. So if you're looking for a dedicated time-lapse camera, this might be something to consider, but I suspect there's a lot of cameras at the same or lower price point that have better overall functionality and also include that time-lapse mode. So I recommend generally against this camera and any camera that looks just like it because it's basically made in the same factory. So the macro lens does an okay job for shooting macro objects. I think they included it mostly to make the camera look cooler in our line photos though, because it's not all that great. I mean, it's actually a pretty neat lens, but compared to what you're going through at the inside, it's not going to help you that much. And it really doesn't make the view that much wider. This is a pretty wide lens as it comes, and the macro lens adds a little bit of wideness to it, but it's not really increasing that a lot like a fisheye lens.
Here's an example of the digital zoom outdoors. So that's max digital zoom. So this camera is advertised as kind of a YouTube blogging video camera, but it does have photo taking abilities. So I'm going to take a few photos here just to try out that type of stuff. All right. I was not happy with the audio captured by the camera's microphone. It felt a little underwater to me. So I'm going to try out the transmitter receiver pair. There's a sticker here that says connect this end to the camera. So the camera end has 1, 2, 3. It's a TRS plug. And the microphone end is 1, 2, 3, 4. Or sorry, the transmitter end is, the receiver is 1, 2, 3, 4 TRS. And so that guy needs to go in there, and this guy goes into the camera. All right, I am wearing the wireless microphone now, and hopefully the audio quality will be a little better. The other thing I didn't like about the camera was the autofocus. It kind of went every so often. So I've set this to fixed focus, or manual focus, and I focused on this box before I started recording. So you push down halfway, it focuses, and you push the button the rest of the way, and it starts recording. And so I don't know how well that focus is going to work if I move things in or out of the camera. Hopefully the audio is working well now, though. All right, so the receiver clips on the top here pretty nicely. The wire's mostly up out of the way. One thing that's kind of annoying is when you have a quick release plate on the bottom, it's kind of difficult to slide this guy around. There's not like a good handhold there. The best I've found is you kind of push on this side and then you can get a thumb in there if you want to flip it around. Of course, it's almost impossible to do when you're behind the camera to kind of reach around and then try to flip it over. Now, if the quick release plate is not on the camera, it's super simple. Maneuver that, you basically reach under the bottom and you use the bottom as kind of the handle. But when the quick release plate's down there, it kind of blocks that motion. All right, this is the regular lens at wide. I'm going to do digital zoom now. And that is 16x digital zoom on the regular lens. And this is the super wide angle macro lens. Let me do my digital zoom. So there's the digital zoom with the super wide angle macro lens. Not really seeing a large difference between the macro lens and the regular lens here. So this is the macro lens, and this is the regular lens. So it is slightly wider field of view, but it's not that big of a difference. Now this is using just the back half of the macro lens, which screws off, but doesn't seem to focus properly. So yeah, the macro lens does not separate into two workable halves. It's supposed to stay together. This is with the macro lens again.